Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're embarking on a really fascinating deep dive. We've got some great source material here, all about a very specific and pretty high impact challenge, the PTE Reading Fill in the Blanks task. Our mission really is to pull out those essential nuggets, the things that can give you a real edge, whether you're, head down preparing for the exam or maybe just curious about how language works mechanically. And this task, well, from what our sources are telling us, it's actually a pretty big deal in the reading section. Apparently, the second highest scoring task offers, 16 to 20 marks? That's significant.
It really is a big chunk of the reading score.
And you'd expect to see 4 or 5 of these in the exam itself.
That's the typical range, yeah.
And we're talking about reading like short texts up to about 80 words and filling in the gaps.
Exactly. And what's truly interesting here is that while it sounds simple, maybe, it actually gets into some really quite nuanced bits of language understanding. You can catch people out.
Okay, right. Let's unpack this then. So digging into those sources, what's the first big idea they keep hammering home? Seems like it's more than just knowing words, right?
Precisely. Yeah, the core thing here, and it's a surprisingly common place where people get stuck, is that the answers often depend less on, say, really obscure vocabulary and more on a deep, almost gut-level feel for word function, what we call parts of speech.
Ah, okay. Parts of speech.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Is the blank space needing a noun, like innovation, or maybe a verb, like innovate? The sources really stress knowing your nouns. It can be people, places, things, ideas, and even those verb forms that act like nouns. Gerunds, the sing ones, like running a business.
Right, or infinitives.
Or infinitives, yeah, the to plus verb form, like to create. And same goes for verbs, adjectives, adverbs. It's fundamental. The sources pinpoint this as the main point of confusion in the answer options. You get similar words, but different jobs.
Got it. So it's about the job the word does, not just its dictionary meaning. Okay, now speaking of differences, sources made a really big point about this fill-in-the-blanks task compared to that other similar one, the reading and writing fill-in-the-blanks, the RW one. What's the key difference our deep dive found there? What sets them apart?
Yeah, that's a crucial distinction. If you look at the bigger picture, the key difference is really about, well, informal language comes into it. Also collocation, words that just sound right together, like make a decision, not do a decision.
Okay.
And critically, abstract meanings, especially metaphors. The sources are very clear. Abstract meanings, metaphors, they're never used in that RW version. Never.
Whoa. Okay, that's huge.
It is. It's huge for you, the learner.
So for this task, the reading fill-in-the-blanks, it's not just literal meaning, it could be figurative language.
Exactly.
That's a whole different skill they're testing, almost unexpectedly.
Yeah.
So how do you spot that when you're, under time pressure?
Well, the material gives us a pretty good clue. Usually among the answer choices, there's one word that just feels off. Like it doesn't quite fit the literal meaning of the sentence. It stands out.
An outlier.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
That's often your signal for a potential metaphor. Imagine, say, a sentence about economic growth. And one option is the word blossoming.
Okay.
Grammatically, maybe it fits, but blossoming for economics, that's a metaphor. Whereas maybe increasing is the literal fit.
Ah, I see. So it pushes you beyond just matching words.
It really does. So look, while having a good grasp of grammar generally is always important, the sources really emphasize using those specific grammatical clues right there in the text. They can often point you to just one single possible correct answer. It's about using those textual hints cleverly and combining that with a sensitivity to how language is really used, including figuratively.
Okay, so pulling this all together then, what does this really mean for you, the learner? What's the takeaway?
Well, this deep dive, I think it shows that getting good at these fill-in-the-blanks, it isn't just about memorizing grammar rules. It's more about developing this sharp sensitivity to word function, to the context, and even to that subtle art of metaphor. And it kind of prompts you to think, doesn't it? Beyond just getting a test score, how could this really precise understanding of language actually help your everyday reading and communication? Helping you figure out not just what's being said, but maybe what's being implied. And that's a skill that definitely goes beyond any exam.
That is a powerful thought to consider, something to really mull over. Until next time, keep diving deep.